Hey guys, I got some gameplays for you for Ripple. So I decided to put some gameplays on here to showcase what Ripple can do since it'll be coming out on December 11th for us in English. It's a very good deck. It's actually pretty budget friendly for a meta deck. Um, Vanguard has always been known for being not too expensive as other card games are to make decks. So this one kind of utilizes a lot of old cards with some new ones that are coming out in the new clan booster for Aqua Horse, with mainly focusing on Odysseus and the Legion. That really makes the deck really good because you do have the turtle already out in set 13, and you already have the right chain that came out in set 11. The right chain back then was still a relatively good Aquaforce deck. It was pretty much one of the best at that time when it came out. Then later on, Tech Drive came out, and then people started playing that instead of the Ripple right chain, because the other deck that was out during when Ripple right chain came out was Last Card Revan deck, which really wasn't that great because you had to have your front row rested to count plus 1 and you gains a 3k in a crit. So doing that just to get a 3k in a crit was pretty bad. While you had other people who got restanders. The only really other good card besides the Ripple right chain that came out there was Transcore, which if you guys played during that time was Tetra Drive and Transcore Breakard, which was really good back then. So you guys see, I went Turtle, tried to top deck a card, didn't get it, and then I went and used Odysseus to put the Turtle back into Soul Superior Ride Pavlov from my deck to my Vanguard, so that way I can fix my right chain. And I can also get Turtle again out and to try and top deck another card so I can get more free advantage. Turtle, if you guys don't know what he does, is when he's placed on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, you can look at the top card, reveal the top card, and if it's a grade 1 or 2, you get a call to Rearguard. And then if it's a grade 0 or 3, just shuffle your deck. You don't get that card, unfortunately. But it's still, if you get it, you can really get some really good plays off. Like one time I used Turtle to try and get Odysseus. I top decked Odysseus, got it, put Turtle back into Soul, top deck it. And then called Ride Pavroth, called Turtle, top decked another. Odysseus, put Turtle back, got that, got grade 2, and refilled my entire field with just that combination, which is pretty good. Odysseus really kind of does help make the deck how good it is because of the fact that it can call a unit against 2k. So it makes the 7k Turtle to be at 9k. And then if you combo it with this guy here, the new grade 2, that when he attacks, if you have 2 or other units rested that have Ripple in his name, he gains 3k. You can combo with him because he does gain 3 to end a turn. So depending on the situation, you can easily make him up really high combos. Ripple right chain now, it pretty much plays the grade 2 game really well because of the fact that your grade 2 right chain, if you have Solito on the Soul, the grade 1 of the right chain, for Ripples, he gains 1k, so he's a 10k base. So your opponent can't just call a 9k and swing with that. He has to have a 12k attacker, 10k attacker, or grade 3 or grade 2 boosted. And then you also, when he attack hits, if you have the grade 1 in Soul, you can reset one of your units and it gains 3k. So that's pretty good, especially when you hit combos with the new grade 2. So it's a pretty good deck. It's majority focused on the grade 2 game, which really hurts Legion decks, hurts Stride decks, because they can't really do anything until they Stride. Well, you can just hit a grade 2, keep putting pressure, keep putting pressure. If they hit your Rearguards, you can just go Turtle again and start going, trying to get more advantage for free. I do play Penguin Soldier in this deck. I know some people like to play Chris or something like that. I don't remember her name, but the one that binds a card and Superior calls it for guard. I don't play that because if you're playing against Congo, they can retire that pretty easily. And then your binding cards are wasted now. Wow, you can go ahead and use the turtle, Penguin, because you will build up a lot of soul as you keep Superior Call and stuff. So you can Soul Blast that, get drawn, and then you can reuse the Penguin by Legion it back in and stuff. So here, we're both at even 4 damage. My opponent only has 4 cards in hand. I figured it was a good time to ride, trying to finish him off this turn, since I do have a copy of Granavis in my hand, so I can restand all my Rearguards. So again, here I'm using the Penguin to start drawing cards, and then I'm going to put him in the Penguin back into Soul with Odysseus, and start using Matilda's effect, the new Legion Devourer, so that way I can get more advantage to my hand, so that way if he does survive this turn, at least I can guard myself. which will help a lot. And then the only thing I kind of wish that Odysseus did to make him even more better would give a 3k, because that way that new Matildas I just called through Vanguard from Salt would have been a 21k column, but it's not. But with that, Odysseus would just been too broke. But it's pretty good to be able to do this. As you can see, I get more soul and more advantage here. I got not more soul, but more cards to hand by looping and Matildas. So that way I can keep counter plus 1 and looking at top 3. So not only do I thin my deck, I add a card to my hand, and I get it's pretty much for free because I can go and unflip when I attack with Matildas if I have 3 more units rested than when he attacks. So it's really good because if you only have like 1 Cow Blast, like I'm looping it so much that I'll only have 1 Cow Blast open, so now I can go ahead and attack, unflip 1, so I have 2 Cow Blasts open to play greater of his skill. So with this, I just create a lot of advantage and a lot of stuff. If I had the new grade 2 on field instead of Pavroth or the other grade 3, I would have been able to swing for higher combos because he does keep the 3k until end of turn from his effect. So that way he would have been plus 6k by himself at the end of the combo of the turn, which is really good. I decided to send 2 heals to crits back because if he does live and if I'm not able to guard, I would rather make sure I have a chance to heal. Because there's always a chance he can 6 damage heal and then I can't get over it or something. This deck does create a lot of powers. You can't really play Lambros in the deck because of the fact that you don't really play any other multi-attackers. Like Tile Assault, Magnum Assault. You could, but I don't recommend it because from my playtesting, you don't really need it because you're just going to sit at grade 2 most of the time. So it's better to just have these guys consistently get those combos off and effects. It's another one that you can also use. I didn't use it in this combo, in this gameplay, where I had 2. If you have 2 Odysseus on field, you can go ahead, or if you wrote the wrong grade 2, if you wrote the new grade 2, I can't remember his name. The guy I just drive checked, but if you ride him first and then miss the ride, you can use Odysseus, ride Pavro from deck, and then call him. You'll gain 2k, so he can swing 11. And then you can restand him, and then he'll be swinging for 16 without a second lead. That's 9 to 11 plus 3 from Pavro scale. That is 14. Oh no, that'll be 17 with his effect, so you can still hit really good effects. So that was it for this one. As you can see, like I create a lot of hand advantage with that in that game one. Here's another game. This one is again against Kagro, which a lot of people say it's a bad matchup for Ripple because they can keep retiring. It kind of is, but you can make back the rear guards real fast with Turtle, so it's not too bad of a matchup. One thing I noticed with the deck is if you don't hit the grade 1, it's kind of hard to get your game going late game because you do need the grade 1 in Soul to use Power Skill. And then if you do hit the grade 1 for the right chain, you get a search for grade 2 or grade 3, so that really helps, especially if you were grade stuck. But as you saw here, I have Odysseus, so I was able to ride the Penguin, put the starter back into Soul, call the Penguin back out, so that way I can get the grade 1 and start going. So here I ride Turtle, I top deck Pavroth, put him into Soul, put the Penguin into Soul to call up Turtle again. Turtle's 9k now, so he can hit the Burnout. Unfortunately, I didn't get another card, but I still have Turtle there to Soul Blast and draw, so I'm already ready to, without even having to use the grade 3 Searcher starter to be able to use the Soul Blast 2 draw 1 card grade 2 gameplay, a combo. So with this, my opponent only has 3 cards in hand. He rides the Cross. It is debatable whether or not you can ride, if in this matchup it's better to ride Dote or the Cross, because Dote can still use his effects since he doesn't have to be in Legion. Or has to be in Limit Break, so he can start restanding, but he does have to have another copy. So, but you can also have the Cross, since Cross his effect to retire doesn't have to be in Legion also. The only one you would have to be in Legion would be for the grade. So the Cross, if attack doesn't hit, he can retire 2 of my units, which is kind of relevant in the matchup. But I already have Turtle, so unless he retires Turtle, I would have a problem. But so I pretty much just let his Vanguard hit, so that way I don't have to worry about him retiring, and just guard the rear guards. Now, so I don't really have that much card in hand. Here he Lux Sacks and heals twice on me. I do hit a jaw trigger. So I had to intercept the turtle because I didn't really want to go to 4 damage right then. I could have intercepted with Pavlov instead, but I wanted to keep the turtle because I know I didn't have any more Pavlovs left in deck, so I couldn't really go into Odysseus effect to get another put turtle in to get another card because I didn't want to be stuck on a 9k base, so you can start calling 9k Vanguards and swinging at my Vanguard. Well, if I still have that 10k base and I still have the grade 1 soul, I can easily start keeping more pressure for him to worry about me hitting his Vanguard, so that way I can restand a unit. This time at least his heal doesn't go off. The only thing really is with this deck, the only real decks I've seen that can actually give you more of a difficult time are those that are Limit Break. Link Joker has given some problems if you like play Chaos Breaker because of the fact that he can lock early and he has Unlimiters and other cards now that can lock that aren't GB1. So that's the only one that I've seen that really have a hard time against. Kagero, it depends on whether or not they can retire you like your field super fast. If they can, then you have a hard time. Here, since I'm at 5 damage, he's at 2 since he's been healing. So I have to go ahead and try and push a little bit more to get more hand advantage and to try and get him up to damage. I know I can't finish him this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and ride Grenovis since I didn't have Matildas in my hand, so I use Odysseus to put Matildas to put the turtle into solo to ride Matildas from deck, so that way I can get the stuff. Here I use Matilda's effect, gonna add the crit because I need to keep more hand advantage because I know he's gonna survive this turn, so I need to start saving up. Then I use the other Odysseus to ride the Matildas, so that way I can get another search. So again, creating more hand advantage. Here I was gonna take Odysseus, but I decided to grab Grenovis because if he does survive, I can make sure I have another Grenovis for next turn to use the Limit Break, or I can just still PG it, discard it with my PG. So also another good thing about being able to hit get that 2k from Odysseus is you also can hit crossroads. So he goes ahead and take the other rear guard attacks, so he does hit draw trigger. So he's 16 base now and 4 damage. I had a crit and draw. I'm going to go ahead and use Grenovis skill to restand on my rear guard, so that way I can put more pressure. I'm at swinging for 30k with 2 crit. So with that, he has to give up a lot since he doesn't have any 10ks. And swing 19. He could take this one, or he can save his hand. He should take it, but he decides to guard instead, which I would recommend him to instead take it, so that way we have 5 and he has another attacker. That was one misplay there on my opponent's side, I guess. And then here, he's going to stride. He should have actually legioned because he could have added the cross to my hand, because he knows that I'm not going to let this hit. I know he has a dote and drop zone that he can legion back in if he's out of copies because he did call one and I attacked it earlier. Here he goes ahead and retires 1 column and then uses his starter skill. I'm thinking of which one to retire, which one would be more that I can replace easily. But if he did legion with the cross, he most likely would have killed Odysseus because he wouldn't want me to use Odysseus skill to start looping again, or to try and fix my rear guards with the cards. Because one thing about Odysseus, if you don't have attackers, you can just send in like a draw trigger, grade 1, or something you don't need, and get an attacker that way. But that was the misplay on his turn, but because he would have been able to retire more. He wouldn't be able to get 3 drive checks, but he would have been able to retire, which would have been more better in this situation. So I go ahead and use Odysseus to get Matildas again by getting rid of the perfect guard. That way I can get my attackers going. It does show I have 0 cards in deck, but I have more cards left in deck. It's just a glitch from the replay from Cardfight area. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is one meta you're going to have to look forward to when the Aqua Force booster comes out. It will be pretty much Tetra Drive and Ripple. That will make a big splash in the meta.